The Galactic Council Hall was silent, a grand chamber of silver and glass where the rulers of 1,000 worlds gathered, each delegate glowing, shifting, or humming in their alien ways. Humanity's representative stood alone in the center, her boots echoing on the crystal floor. Her name was Admiral Rhea Carter, the voice of Earth. The defender of Sol. For years, the Council had mocked humanity. They called them reckless, emotional, and unpredictable. They had demanded obedience, demanding Earth to share its weapons, its technology, and its fleets. Humanity obeyed for peace until peace turned into chains. Today was different. Today, the humans had come not to beg, but to break free. Ambassador Carter, hissed the serpentine high speaker of the Council, your world has violated the trade pact. Your fleets are expanding into restricted sectors. Explain yourself. Rhea looked up, her calm eyes shining blue beneath the white lights. We are expanding because our people are starving under your taxes, she said. We are building ships because your patrols enter our systems uninvited. Murmurs rippled through the alien rows. A being made of living mist whispered, humans challenge the Council again. Others laughed. They cannot survive without us. Rhea's voice hardened. Maybe not before, she said softly. But that time is over. The high speaker slammed a metallic claw on the desk. You will comply or face sanctions, it roared. Earth will hand over its fleets within 7 cycles. Rhea didn't flinch. She reached into her coat and placed a small device on the table. It projected a glowing blue symbol, the Terran seal. The mark of independence effective immediately, she said. Earth withdraws from the Galactic Council. Gasps filled the hall. Dozens of alien translators flickered with static, as if the words could not be understood. 1,000 eyes turned toward her in disbelief. The high speaker's body trembled. You dare? It hissed. You insignificant species dare? Rhea smiled just slightly. We dared when we left our planet, she replied. We dared when we reached the stars. Outside, orbiting above the Council world, a small Terran fleet began to move. Their engines lit the void with blue flame. Hundreds of ships turning away from the capital, heading for home, heading for Earth. Inside the chamber, chaos erupted. The delegates screamed in dozens of languages. Some demanded war, others urged restraint. The Council's order was collapsing right before their eyes. Rhea walked out slowly, step by step. The doors closed behind her with a deep metallic thud. As she stepped into her shuttle, she opened a secure line to Sol Command. This is Admiral Carter, she said, her voice steady. The Council is no longer our government, a deep voice replied through static. Acknowledged. It was Commander Ethan Voss, head of the Terran Defense Fleet. Operation Dawnfire begins. The shuttle rose into the sky, cutting through the light of 1,000 alien towers. From orbit, the planet below looked peaceful, calm, unaware that it had just lost control of the most unpredictable force in the galaxy. Humanity back on Earth, the news spread faster than light. Crowds filled the streets, cheering under the digital billboards showing Rhea's message. We stand alone again by choice. But not everyone celebrated. In the outer colonies, fear grew. Traitors whispered that the Council's armadas would come for revenge. Some believed Earth's fleets were too small, too scattered, too weak. They didn't know about the secret hangars hidden under the oceans, or the shipyards orbiting Jupiter's moons. They didn't know that humanity had been preparing for this day for 20 long years. On the alien world of Tharkesh, a Council spy transmitted his final report. Humans have activated something, he said in panic. Something big, and entire shipyards coming online. Hundreds of vessels powering up. Before he could send coordinates, his transmission cut off, replaced by static. In the Council's war room, the high speaker slammed a tentacle on the holomap. They think they can defy us, it hissed. We will remind them who rules this galaxy. But deep within the Sol system, the first human dreadnought, TSS Resolute, came online. Her hull gleamed black against the sun, engines pulsing like a heartbeat. Each plate of her armor carried the words engraved by hand. For Earth, for freedom. Rhea Carter stood on her command bridge, watching the distant stars. They think chaos will destroy us, she murmured. They don't know that humans were born from chaos. As her fleet aligned with Mars' orbit, she gave the final order. Transmit to all colonies, she said. Tell them the truth. Humanity is free. Across the galaxy, sensors began to flash red, from alien fortresses to trade stations. Every scanner detected the same impossible signal. hundreds of ships leaving Sol, forming into perfect formation, silent, fast, unstoppable, and as the galaxy watched, fear took hold. The humans had left the council, but they had not left the stars. They were coming, not as subjects, but as equals. The universe, for the first time in millennia, held its breath. The stars over Earth shimmered like cold fire, but behind that beauty, the greatest secret of humanity waited for decades. While the Galactic Council mocked them, the humans had built something powerful, something invisible, something alive in the dark. It began years ago under Project Dawnfire, a plan hidden beneath the oceans, frozen moons, and forgotten asteroids. Only a handful of admirals and engineers knew the truth. The project's purpose was simple: to ensure that no alien empire could ever threaten Earth again. Now, with the Council ties broken, Project Dawnfire was ready to awaken. Admiral Rhea Carter watched from the bridge of the TSS Resolute, her flagship orbiting Mars. Around her floated hundreds of smaller ships, corvettes, carriers, frigates, all bearing the same Terran insignia. "Fleet status?" she asked quietly. Commander Ethan Voss turned. 72% of the Dawnfire units are online, he said. The hidden stations under Titan are fully powered. Luna Yard is finishing the last dreadnought, and the Neptune Gate is stable. Rhea nodded slowly. "Then we begin," she whispered. A low hum filled the command deck as the Neptune Gate activated. A ring the size of a continent, glowing blue on the edges of the outer system. From its center, ships began to emerge. Massive vessels hidden for years inside hollow asteroids. Each one carried names etched into the hull: Valiant, Horizon, Nemesis, Archangel, and Aurora. The galaxy thought humans owned small patrol fleets, but this was an armada, built in silence, powered by determination far beyond human space. Alien traders were the first to notice. Their long-range scanners caught ghost signatures moving near the dead zone. "Impossible," one of them hissed. "No one travels there." The signal vanished before they could trace it. At the same time, rumors spread through the Galactic Council's networks. Ships were disappearing near Terran borders, convoys lost without distress calls. The Council sent recon vessels, but none returned. Only silence answered their scans. In the shadows of Saturn, a group of Terran engineers watched the first activation of a new weapon. A gravitic pulse cannon, strong enough to bend metal without destroying it. It was meant to disable, not kill, a message from humanity to the galaxy. "We could destroy, but we choose not to." The engineers cheered as the test succeeded. A voice echoed through the comm line: "Prepare to deploy." Meanwhile, inside the alien capital of Verith Prime, panic was growing. The high speaker shouted across the war chamber, "They are mobilizing." It screamed, "The humans were never this strong before." A younger counselor, trembling, whispered, "Maybe they were. We just never noticed, but still." The council tried to act confident. They announced new sanctions, a demand that all neutral races cut trade with Earth. Yet quietly, smaller species began to ignore those orders. Many had lived under human protection once, and they remembered it fondly. One of them, the insectoid people of Sareth, sent a coded message to Earth. "We remember your kindness during the plague," they said. "If the Council attacks, we stand with you." It was the first spark of what would become the Terran Coalition. Back in Sol, Admiral Rhea received the message and smiled faintly. "It begins," she said. Ethan Voss watched the tactical map. "Council fleets are repositioning near the Perseus Arm," he reported. "But they're spreading thin. They don't trust each other anymore." "Good," Rhea replied. "Let them break themselves apart." Then came the broadcast that shook the galaxy. A human signal, transmitted across every channel, every frequency, every world. "To the species of the stars," the voice said. "Calm and clear. For centuries, we sought peace under your laws. We followed your counsel, paid your taxes, and obeyed your rules. But peace turned into chains. You called us emotional, dangerous, primitive. Yet we endured, we watched, we learned, we prepared. We no longer ask for freedom. We have taken it. If you wish peace, come as equals, not masters. If you choose war, remember this. We came from a world that never stopped fighting to survive." The message ended with the seal of the United Terran Systems, a glowing blue sphere surrounded by stars. Throughout the galaxy, millions of aliens watched in silence. Some trembled, some cheered, others felt something they had not felt in ages: respect. But in the Council's secret bunker, the High Speaker whispered darkly, "Then we make them regret it." Dozens of fleets began forming in council space, preparing to march on Earth. The universe was about to witness the largest mobilization in recorded history. Yet even as those fleets gathered, humanity's armada vanished from known space. Their transponders turned off, their signals silent. It was as if the humans had disappeared, leaving only whispers in the dark. Only Admiral Rhea knew the truth. The fleet wasn't gone. It was waiting, hidden beyond the edge of mapped space, near the black rift where no alien dared to go. There, among the dying stars, thousands of Terran ships hovered in perfect silence, their hulls absorbing light, their engines cold, their weapons ready. Ethan Voss stood beside Rhea and asked quietly, "Do you think they'll come for us?" Rhea's gaze never left the stars. "They already have," she said, "and when they do, they'll learn what humanity really is." As the first council fleets moved toward Sol, the Terran armada began to awaken one by one. Engines ignited like distant suns. The hidden armada was no longer hidden, and across the stars chaos began to spread. The blackness of space was never truly silent. Not anymore, deep within the void between stars. The Galactic Council armada moved. Hundreds of alien warships, massive, gleaming, and proud, advanced toward the Sol system. Their commanders believed victory would be simple. They were wrong. The Council called it Operation Orderbound, an effort to restore control over the Terran species, but in truth it was fear, pure and deep. They could not allow one small world to challenge their rule. At the edge of human territory near the Epsilon front, the first confrontation began. The Council fleet dropped out of hyperspace, led by the towering flagship Verith's Glory. Its commander, a scaled alien named Tashak Vor, sent a transmission: "Humans, surrender your fleets, return to the Council, or be erased." But on the other side of the void, no answer came, only silence. Then the stars themselves seemed to blink. Thousands of tiny lights appeared, growing brighter and brighter, until the alien sensors screamed with alarms. They were ships, Terran ships, emerging from stealth fields like shadows turning solid. At their center stood the TSS Resolute, the black dreadnought of Admiral Rhea Carter. Rhea looked out over the holographic map. "All units," she said calmly. "Engage defensive pattern Theta." Commander Ethan Voss nodded. "They're hailing again. Let them speak," Rhea replied. The alien commander's voice came through, full of arrogance. "You think your small world can fight the Council?" Rhea smiled faintly. "We're not thinking," she said. "We're proving." Before the alien could respond, the first volley launched. Human ships moved with terrifying precision. Their formation shifted like a living storm. Plasma bolts and railgun slugs sliced through the void, striking the lead Council cruisers. No warning, no hesitation, no mercy. But the strangest part wasn't the destruction. It was the control. The Terrans disabled engines, tore through power cores, and left ships adrift instead of annihilated. "Why are they not finishing them?" One alien officer shouted. Tashak Vor hissed, "Because they want to humiliate us," and he was right. Humanity wasn't just fighting for victory. They were sending a message. Within minutes, the Council's perfect formation was chaos. Their ships collided. Comms broke down. The humans moved between them like wolves among confused prey. On the Resolute's bridge, Rhea stood calm. "Target next wave," she ordered. "Use gravitic pulse cannons only." The new weapons fired. Invisible waves that bent light itself. Alien ships froze mid-maneuver, their systems collapsing without explosions, drifting powerless in space. The battle lasted only 23 minutes. When it ended, hundreds of alien vessels floated dead in the dark, and not one human ship had been destroyed. Ethan looked at the silent battlefield. "It's over," he said quietly. Rhea shook her head. "No," she said. "It's just beginning." She opened a channel to all surviving Council ships. Her voice echoed across the stars. "This is Admiral Rhea Carter of the United Terran Systems. We did not start this war, but we will finish it if forced. Tell your Council we will not kneel, we will not obey. Humanity stands free." Then she cut the signal. On Verith Prime, the High Speaker received the report in horror. "How?" It demanded. "How did they do this?" An aide trembled. "Their technology has advanced beyond projections. Their tactics are unpredictable." The High Speaker roared. "Unacceptable. Double the fleets, call in every ally, crush them before the others follow." But that command came too late. News of the human victory spread faster than light across the galaxy. Broadcasts showed images of Council fleets drifting helplessly. The once mighty rulers now looked weak, afraid, defeated. On dozens of alien worlds, whispers began. Maybe humanity was right. Maybe the Council is not invincible. Small rebellions flared. Colonies refused orders. Systems declared neutrality. Meanwhile, back at the Terran Command Center, Rhea stood over a star map glowing with thousands of lights. Each red dot was a Council fleet, each blue one a human force. Ethan pointed to the outer systems. We could strike here next, he suggested. Rhea studied the map. No, she said softly. Not yet, let them come again. Let them bring everything, the more they gather, the harder they fall. He nodded slowly, understanding her plan. Humanity would not chase, humanity would wait. And when the galaxy came to crush them, they would show the true power of Earth. In the days that followed, new signals appeared from deep space. Entire alien battle groups moving toward Sol. The Council was preparing for full war. But what they didn't know was that the humans had already built something greater than ships. A network. A unity of minds, every colony, every soldier, every engineer working as one, guided by one purpose. Survival through strength. As Rhea watched the endless stars, she whispered to herself, You thought we needed your Council to bring order. But you never understood. We are the order born from chaos. Outside her viewport, the wreckage of the alien fleet drifted silently, glowing faintly under distant sunlight, a graveyard of arrogance, a warning to anyone who still believed humanity was weak. And so as the universe held its breath once again, one truth became clear. Humanity was no longer part of the galactic story. They were about to rewrite it, the once bright capital of the Galactic Council. Vareth Prime now floated beneath a dim red sun. Its towers still gleamed, but its halls echoed with fear. For the first time in centuries, the mighty Council was losing control. In the war chamber, hundreds of alien leaders shouted over one another. The air shimmered with the heat of their anger. They destroyed our fleets. One roared. The humans crippled us without killing. They humiliated us. Another voice, higher and trembling, answered, Then why fight them again? We cannot win. The High Speaker's massive form rose from its chair, tentacles glistening with cold light. Silence, it thundered. We are the Council, they are a primitive race. We will rebuild our armadas and remind them who rules the stars. But deep down, even the High Speaker's voice carried doubt. Across the galaxy, messages poured in. Dozens of worlds refused Council orders. Trade guilds cut ties. Entire sectors declared neutrality. The very foundation of the Council, fear and obedience, now was breaking apart. Meanwhile, in Terran space, humanity stood united like never before. Admiral Rhea Carter watched from the bridge of the TSS Resolute as new fleets assembled near Neptune Gate. The void was filled with the glow of engines and construction yards. Commander Ethan Voss approached her, his voice low. Reports coming in. 2 more Council species have defected to us. Rhea turned slowly. Who? The Seraph Insectoids and the Loran Syndicates, he said. They've signed the Terran Pact. They say the Council taxed them to starvation. They want protection. A small smile crossed Rhea's face. Then we give them what the Council never could. Respect. The Terran coalition was forming. Piece by piece, system by system, each defector brought new ships, new resources and new allies. But Rhea knew this was more than politics. This was history turning back on Vareth Prime. Chaos deepened. Fights erupted between delegates. Entire species accused others of betrayal. One counselor shouted, The humans warned us. We ignored them, now look at us. The High Speaker slammed the floor with rage. Enough! You speak treason. But the word treason no longer frightened anyone. Outside the chamber, anti-council protests filled the streets. Citizens threw down the banners of the old empire, chanting, No more rulers from Vareth, and freedom for all worlds. The guards couldn't stop them, not anymore. The council sent desperate messages to its military outposts, but most never replied. Commanders either surrendered, deserted, or quietly joined the Terran side. From her command station on Mars, Rhea addressed the galaxy. Her face calm, her voice steady. To the free worlds of the stars, she said. The age of fear is over. The council ruled with greed. But humanity offers cooperation. We do not seek control, only balance. Stand with us. And we will stand with you. The message was replayed millions of times. On every colony, every screen, every ship. Even some council soldiers watched it in silence and wondered if they were on the wrong side. Within weeks, the unthinkable happened. A major council fortress in the citadel of Arcus surrendered without a shot. The commander transmitted a single message before vanishing into exile. "We have served tyranny too long. We now serve the future." That message spread like wildfire, inspiring hundreds of worlds. The High Speaker could no longer deny it. The Galactic Council was dying. In the deep war chambers of Earth, Rhea stood with Ethan and other admirals. A holographic projection displayed the map of known space, half of it now glowing blue, the color of the Terran Coalition. Ethan said quietly, "They're collapsing faster than expected." Rhea nodded. "Because their strength was never unity, only control," she said. "Once fear is gone, they have nothing left." Suddenly an alert chimed on the bridge. Incoming transmission from Vareth Prime. It was the High Speaker itself, its voice cracked with desperation. "Admiral Carter," it said, "you have won. What do you want? Territory? Tribute? Power?" Rhea stepped closer to the screen, her eyes cold but steady. "I want peace," she said. "But peace built on truth, not fear." The High Speaker hissed. "Peace is weakness." Rhea's tone softened. "No," she said. "Peace is strength when you have the power to destroy and choose not to." The transmission ended, leaving the council chamber in silence. That night, Vareth Prime erupted in riots. The old government buildings burned. The once mighty banners of the council were torn down, and in their place, new ones rose. Flags of independence, of unity, of hope. The galaxy was no longer ruled by one voice, but by many. In the quiet aftermath, Rhea watched from orbit as the first joint fleet, humans, Sareth, Lorenz, and more, flew together for the first time. Ethan stood beside her and said softly, "It's over, isn't it?" Rhea shook her head. "No," she whispered. "It's only the beginning. The stars are finally free, but freedom is harder to protect than victory." The camera of fate pulled back, showing thousands of lights, new colonies, new alliances, shining in the endless dark. The Galactic Council had fallen, but in its ashes a new order was rising, and at its heart stood one small blue planet that had once been ignored, now shining brighter than ever. Earth. The world that defied the galaxy, the world that refused to bow. Years passed since the fall of the Galactic Council. The galaxy that once bowed to a single throne now pulsed with new energy, new hope, new fear. The Terran Coalition had become more than a government. It was an idea, a promise that no species should ever be ruled by fear again. From the shining cities of Earth to the crystal forests of Sareth, banners of silver and blue fluttered together under one name. Unity through strength. Admiral Rhea Carter stood before the great observation window of the rebuilt Lunar Command. Beyond it, the stars shimmered like fireflies weaving through black eternity. Commander Ethan Voss joined her quietly, carrying a datapad glowing with reports. "Every sector is stable," he said. "Trade routes open, colonies cooperating. Even Vareth Prime has rebuilt its cities under our charter." Rhea smiled faintly. "They finally understood," she said. "Power means nothing without purpose." The days of conquest were gone. Humanity no longer expanded for domination. They built, they healed, they guided, yet peace had its own shadows. Rumors spoke of remnants of the old council hiding beyond the Black Rift, ancient warlords plotting revenge. But the coalition was ready. The fleet was stronger than ever, not in numbers but in unity. In the Terran Assembly Hall on Mars, representatives from over 100 species gathered. Their forms shimmered, feathers, scales, crystal, metal, and flesh, all different, all equal. The hall fell silent as Rhea took the central stage, her uniform gleaming with the insignia of the first Terran Chancellor. "For centuries," she began, her voice calm and proud, "humanity was told it was too young, too emotional, too reckless to lead. But we survived storms, wars, and endless judgment. We learned that courage without compassion is destruction, and compassion without courage is weakness. Today we offer both, not as rulers, but as partners." The crowd rose, a chorus of applause filling the chamber. Ethan watched from the side, pride flickering in his eyes. The humans had done the impossible. They turned chaos into order without tyranny. After the speech, Rhea and Ethan walked through the corridors lined with alien banners. "Do you ever think about the beginning?" he asked softly. "The council hall, the threats, the arrogance," Rhea chuckled. "Every day," she said. "But I also remember the silence right after we walked away. That silence changed everything." They entered the fleet control room, where holograms of new ships floated above the table. The designs were beautiful, smooth, elegant, combining Terran and alien engineering. "These," Ethan said, "are not warships. They're guardians, built for rescue, diplomacy, and defense." Rhea nodded. "Good," she said. "Let them see our strength in the light, not the dark." Far across the stars, on worlds once scarred by war, children now studied Earth's history. The time humanity defied the Council, the time the galaxy changed. To them, humans were not conquerors but teachers. One alien historian wrote, "They came from a small world of storms, and yet they taught the stars how to stand tall. But even as peace bloomed, the universe remained vast and unpredictable. New signals were detected beyond mapped space, unknown transmissions repeating the same phrase. 'We see your light.'" Rhea read the report silently, then smiled. "Someone out there is watching," she said. "Let's make sure they see something worth believing in." Later that night, she stood alone under the transparent dome of Luna Base, gazing at Earth hanging blue and bright against the dark. Her reflection shimmered in the glass, older, wiser yet unbroken. She whispered softly, "They feared we would bring chaos, but chaos was our beginning, and from it, we built peace." A gentle tone sounded behind her as Ethan's voice came through the comms. "Chancellor, the Coalition Council requests your presence. New worlds want to join." Rhea turned toward the stars. "Then let's welcome them," she said, "one by one, until the galaxy belongs to no one and everyone." The view pulled outward, from Luna to Earth. From Earth to the vast ocean of stars, fleets drifted like silver birds, carrying not armies but hope. And so it was written in the archives of the New Age. When humanity broke away, the stars fell into panic. When humanity rose again, the stars learned peace. The age of humanity had begun not through conquest, but through understanding, not by fear but by choice. The galaxy finally breathed freely again, and at its heart, shining blue and eternal, was the home world that started it all. Earth, the cradle of chaos, the forge of unity, the light that taught the stars to dream.